Hello, hi
Hi
Dominic. How
there.
you doing?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. I'm Gerardo, is a head teacher here in Ebony and Ivory, and I'm doing the podcast shows with all the teachers and students to show us our capability and whatever we want to offer to our customer, and for the students to show off their skills. So, tell us about you.
Okay. Well, I'm I'm a saxophone woodwind teacher, guitarist. I'm based in London. I play all around the country with lots of different bands,
Okay.
blues, jazz, funk, soul, you name it.
Okay.
Um,
At this point, is the question is, what do you prefer?
oh, it's very difficult. I'm a blues man at heart,
All right.
but
Okay.
I love all types of music.
Okay. He has to be good,
Yeah.
basically. All right. So, tell us about the lesson. How do you manage the lesson with your students for the very beginning? What is your first lesson? Introductions.
Okay, yeah, the first lesson, I tend to teach beginners who are starting out, so I tend to show them the ropes,
Yeah.
of the saxophone, you know, I give
To
a
know the
little.
instruments a little bit. Do you speak about the instruments, or is too early?
Yes, yeah, I talk about the instrument, um, basically how it's how the instrument's put together,
How it works, I know it fits together. Okay. Because one of the most
all
difficult
these
things is
basic
to get
things.
the sound,
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
mouthpiece.
yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The saxophone's quite complicated. There are lots of different parts to it.
Can you tell us which part they are? Briefly, very quickly.
Yeah. So you've got the mouthpiece here. You've got the main body of the saxophone. You've got the neck here, and you have to think about quite a few different things when you're playing a saxophone: the breathing, the finger position.
Okay. Is your sit position and standing position as well helping when you play?
Yes, it's better to stand up, in my opinion, for posture,
Okay.
and that's a good way because it helps your breathing and helps you breathe
To
through
use
your
the diaphragm
diaphragm.
properly,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hold on those notes. It's very much singing, isn't it?
Exactly,
It has to be
exactly,
very, very similar. Okay.
exactly. Yeah, the saxophone is your voice.
This amplified voice that
Exactly,
goes out.
exactly.
Okay. And then we have different tuning saxophones, of course. There are many different types.
Yeah, there are
So,
many
yeah.
different types. I play all of them. The saxophone that people tend to start on is the alto sax, which
Okay.
is
Which is
this
this
one
one?
here.
Okay. They say that the soprano is the most difficult one, isn't it?
Soprano is difficult for tuning because it's very high pitched.
Okay.
Then you've got the baritone, and then you need a lot of breath.
You need a lot of breath
for
for
that. Yeah. So,
which one do you feel more comfortable to?
they all have their
own soul, isn't it?
Yeah. They're all like a different instrument for me.
But that's the bluesy one.
Yeah.
Definitely the blues one.
That's it. Yeah. It's got a nice bluesy sound.
Okay. In a previous interview with Norman, I was talking about saxophone players and jazz musicians and stuff. What is your favorite jazz musician, if you have one?
Oh gosh.
If you had to do like a top three.
Top three jazz musicians. Oh gosh. I like people like Andy Shepherd is great.
Okay.
In the jazz world. You've got.
Go back in past, like, what do you think of Charlie Parker or those old generation musicians?
Just amazing technical ability and
Coltrane, for example.
and so ahead of their time. Back in the sort of 40s, 50s. Playing stuff that was so out there.
Yeah. So they basically have that. They give us the base of what
Yeah.
I think Coltrane was one of those pioneers. In this kind of,
They have. This fundamental mastery, which people have tried to replicate, and not really managed to do so.
What introduced you to music? Are you coming from a family that's musician families?
My dad was a very good guitarist, so I was sort of brought up in listening to sort of,
Was he a bluesman?
Yeah. So listening to sort of blues and watching him in bands, and I played in his band, when I was sort of starting out, which was a nice
Interesting.
thing to do. You know?
Okay, your lesson. How is paced your lesson? What is the main techniques that you teach your students to start with? You know, the breathing, the
Yeah.
positioning.
So the main technique is getting the embouchure and the breathing, because the breathing's the most important thing
Yes,
about the
I get it.
saxophone. If you can't breathe correctly, you're not going to
Last long
get
playing.
not going to last long, and you're not going to create a good sound. So it's about getting that sorted out so that you can produce a pleasant sound on the saxophone,
Okay,
and then the technical ability and all of that can come later. But
okay.
you want the saxophone to sound good.
Sound the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And clarinet, I believe you do the clarinet as well. You said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they very similar in terms of positioning? I know a lot of saxophone players actually they play clarinet as well. Is there
yeah,
any similarity between?
the clarinet is actually there are definite similarities, but the clarinet's actually probably technically a more difficult instrument because you've got some open holes on the
Okay.
body. So it's actually more difficult, you know, the
Okay.
clarinet,
Okay.
which is ironic because a lot of people start on the clarinet. You know,
On clarinet. Okay. Did you start straight on
yeah,
on
I was
saxophone?
straight on saxophone.
Born as a saxophone
Yeah,
players, then you pick up guitars and so many other things.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Are you performing at the moment?
Yes, yeah. I play with a very good blues harmonica and singer
Okay.
called Katie Bradley, and yeah, we play you know, around London and the country.
Nice, nice. How strong is the blues culture in England or around the country? Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the blues is kind of you know, timeless. You know,
Timeless. Okay.
you know, you never get bored of the blues.
No,
You
I
know,
don't.
people always want to hear it. You know,
No, no.
other genres of music they come and go, but the
It's true.
blues
Yeah.
stays
It
strong.
stays always there. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true.
Exactly.
I remember I was in South America. I was because my mom is from there. Father is Italian.
Oh
So
yes,
we
yeah.
used to listen to a lot of American music at that time.
Oh
And
yes.
BB King was the boss.
BB King.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my father, we were doing this speed traveling from one place to another, which in South America means a long hours driving. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that BB King voice underneath truly is gone, and you know,
Oh,
King of
amazing!
the
I mean,
highway things.
amazing voice and sound on his
With,
guitar.
yeah,
It's
that
just
minimalist playing that
yeah,
is the
yeah.
essence of blues. It was doesn't need to be like whoa,
No, every note it just sort of hits you. You know,
yeah.
no, amazing player. You know, again, he
And
was
the very cool things was that I imaged him without knowing him.
yes.
So I picture myself him, you know, like what he would look like because I was very young. Huh? Then when I saw him on the album,
Yeah.
I mean, see, he actually was like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, a
yeah,
big man with the nice.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah,
BB King, love
yeah,
him.
larger than life character.
Yeah.
You know.
Very nice. Okay,
Yeah.
Dom. Okay. So, hope to see you all soon and start to learn the saxophone, clarinet, and guitar with Dom. And I will see you very soon. Ciao. Good. Nice.